Let me ask you something directly. Have you ever had a great conversation with a woman, only to realize later she sees you as just a friend? You talked for hours. She laughed. She responded fully. She seemed engaged. But there was no tension, no spark, no shift, and somehow you got placed in the safe zone. Not rejected, not disliked, just categorized. And here's the part most men get wrong. They think it's their looks, their money, their status, their personality. But what if I told you it's none of that? What if the real issue is the layer your questions operate on? Here's the shocking truth. The questions you ask don't just gather information. They create emotional territory. Most men ask questions at the surface level, facts, details, logistics. But attraction doesn't live in facts. It lives in emotion, tension, curiosity, and psychological movement. Today, I'm going to show you 3 psychological triggers that can shift perception in a single conversation. And the third one, almost no one dares to do it. Let's begin. Point 1, emotional specificity. Stop asking for facts. Start asking for feelings. Here's how most conversations go. She says, I'm a teacher. And 90% of men reply, oh, nice, what grade? Logical, polite, safe, and completely forgettable. Now compare that to this. What made you choose to spend your life shaping other people's kids? Notice the difference. The first question asks for data. The second asks for meaning. The limbic system, the emotional brain, responds to meaning, reflection, and self-awareness. Surface questions trigger autopilot answers. Emotion-based questions trigger introspection. And introspection creates intimacy because intimacy isn't physical at first. Intimacy is witnessing how someone thinks. Another example, she says, I just got back from Bali. The safe response, oh, cool, how long were you there? The emotionally intelligent response, what's one moment from that trip you keep replaying in your head? Now something shifts. She pauses. She stops smiling automatically. She looks up, thinking. And when she thinks before answering, you've moved deeper. You're no longer interviewing her. You're inviting her inward. That pause? That's territory changing. Watch for these signs. She pauses before answering. She makes longer eye contact. Her tone softens. She reflects instead of reports. That's emotional specificity at work. And when a woman feels emotionally seen, something subtle happens. You stop feeling like everyone else. Now let's go further. Point 2, gentle challenge. Her self-image without attacking it. Attraction does not grow from agreement. It grows from tension and polarity. This is where most men lose momentum. They validate everything. They mirror everything. They approve everything. And approval without perspective creates friendship energy. Let's say she says, I'm such a perfectionist. The safe guy replies, yeah, I can tell. Conversation stays flat. But the magnetic response might be, are you really a perfectionist, or do you just hate feeling out of control? Now watch what happens. She laughs. She pauses. She tilts her head. You didn't attack her. You didn't insult her. You offered an alternative interpretation. That creates friction, and friction creates spark. Another example, she says, I'm very independent. You respond, independent or just uncomfortable asking for help. Notice the tone, not aggressive, not mocking, just curious. When you challenge someone's self-image gently, you create intrigue. Humans are drawn to people who don't simply mirror them. They're drawn to people with internal backbone. And here's the pattern you'll notice. She laughs and says, how did you know? She playfully defends herself. She starts explaining herself more. She touches your arm lightly while responding. When she wants to prove something to you, you've created tension. And tension is the bridge between friendly and flirtatious. But we're not done. The next trigger is where perception truly shifts. And it's the one most men avoid because it requires emotional courage. We'll go there in part 2. Before we continue, comment below. Which mistake have you been making more? Asking surface level questions or agreeing too much? Be honest. Self-awareness is step 1. In part 2, we move into desire and the skill almost no man practices, holding silence when it gets real. Now we move into the shift, because what I'm about to explain is the line between being interesting and being unforgettable. Point 3, reveal what she wants. Not what she has desire lives in the future, not the past. Most men ask about circumstances. Do you like your job? How long were you in your last relationship? Do you like living here? These questions live in the present or the past. But attraction lives in projection. It lives in possibility. It lives in the future version of her that hasn't fully been expressed yet. Humans bond with the person who sees their potential, not just their resume. So instead of asking, do you like your job? Try this. If no one would judge you, what would you actually be doing? Now watch carefully. Her breathing changes. She pauses. Her voice drops slightly. Because now she's not reporting facts. She's revealing desire. Instead of, how long were you in your last relationship? Ask, what's the one thing you're determined not to repeat? Now you're not collecting history, you're exploring growth. Instead of, do you like living here? Ask, do you feel like you're where you're supposed to be? Or just waiting for permission to leave? That question hits identity, and identity questions create emotional gravity. Here's what you'll notice when you ask future-oriented desire questions. She lowers her voice. She leans in. She says, I've never told anyone this. And when she says that, you're no longer in the friend category because friendship energy stays comfortable. Desire energy feels slightly vulnerable. There's dopamine in sharing dreams. There's vulnerability in admitting dissatisfaction. And vulnerability, when handled well, creates closeness fast. But this is where most men fail because they ask the deep question and then panic when silence appears. Which brings us to the skill that almost no one practices. Point 4, hold the silence. If you can't hold depth, don't ask for it. Silence is emotional pressure, and pressure reveals confidence. Let's say you ask, when do you feel most alive? She looks at you. 5 seconds pass. Average guy reaction? Haha, that was deep. Forget it. He laughs, he retracts, he escapes, and in that moment, tension dies. Because what that communicates subconsciously is, I'm uncomfortable with emotional depth. Now contrast that with this. You ask the question. She pauses. You hold eye contact. You smile slightly. You wait. Not aggressively, not intensely, just grounded. Silence says, I'm not afraid of what might come out. And that safety allows her to open. Women unconsciously test emotional steadiness. Can he handle depth or will he joke his way out of it? When you hold silence, something powerful happens. She fills it. She goes deeper. Her tone softens, and often she'll follow with a question back to you. That's reciprocity, and reciprocity is escalation. When conversation becomes mutual vulnerability, instead of surface exchange, perception changes. You stop being nice guy she enjoys talking to. You become the man who makes me think. And thinking creates emotional imprint. Now here's the subtle detail. Do not immediately relate everything back to yourself. If she shares something vulnerable and you instantly say, yeah, I feel that too, you shift the spotlight away from her emotional moment. Let it breathe, let her expand. The man who can stay present without hijacking the frame becomes magnetic because most people talk to be heard. Very few listen to understand, and almost none hold emotional space without needing to control it. Now I want you to reflect. When conversations get slightly serious, do you speed up? Do you joke? Do you change topic? Or do you stay? Be honest with yourself. Because in part 3, I'm going to give you the twist no one talks about. These questions will not work if you're using them as a technique. There's a risk involved. And most men stay in the friend zone not because they're too nice, but because they're too afraid of emotional risk. We're going there next. And it might challenge you. Now we arrive at the part that separates strategy from transformation. Because here's the truth no one tells you. These questions do not work if you use them like a technique. If you ask them mechanically, if you're just waiting for your turn to speak, if you're afraid of the real answer, she will feel it. Women are extraordinarily sensitive to congruence. If your words are deep but your presence is shallow, the tension collapses. Let me say something that might sting a little. Most men don't stay friends because they're too nice. They stay friends because they're too afraid of emotional risk. They operate in safe territory. Safe questions, safe jokes, safe opinions. They avoid tension because tension feels dangerous. But here's the paradox. Familiarity without tension is just friendship with better lighting. Read that again. If she feels completely safe but never slightly challenged, completely understood but never slightly stirred, completely comfortable but never emotionally activated, you've built rapport, not attraction. Attraction begins when 3 things happen simultaneously. She feels seen, she feels slightly challenged, she feels emotionally activated, not overwhelmed, not attacked, not interrogated, activated. There's movement, there's polarity, there's depth. Now let's recap the 4 shifts that change everything. First, stop asking for facts. Start asking for feelings. Facts keep conversation horizontal. Feelings make it vertical. Second, stop validating everything. Create gentle friction. Agreement is pleasant, perspective is magnetic. Third, ask about desires, not circumstances. Circumstances are where she is. Desires are who she wants to become. And people bond deeply with the person who sees who they could be. Fourth, hold the silence. If you can't hold depth, don't ask for it, because silence reveals confidence. Now, here's where it gets real. When you ask, what are you afraid of repeating in your next relationship? Yeah, you better be prepared to hear something raw. When you ask, if no one judged you, what would you actually be doing? So you better be ready for ambition, insecurity, maybe even dissatisfaction with her current life. And when she asks you something back, you better answer honestly. Because emotional leadership is not one directional. You cannot invite vulnerability and then hide from it yourself. That's where most men collapse. They want intensity from her, but they won't risk exposure themselves, and women can feel that imbalance immediately. So here's your practical challenge for this week. Replace 3 surface-level questions with emotional ones. Do not fill silence prematurely. Do not immediately shift focus back to yourself. Practice this on dates, in social gatherings, even in professional settings where appropriate. You'll start noticing something interesting. People lean in more. Conversations slow down. Eye contact increases. And with women specifically, the energy shifts from casual to charged. Not because you tried to impress her, but because you made her feel something. And emotion is the currency of attraction. Now, I want you to think about your last conversation with someone you were interested in. Did you operate at the surface or did you step into depth? Be honest, because awareness is where change begins. Comment below, which question are you going to try first? And more importantly, are you ready to handle the answer? If this changed how you see conversation, hit like. Share this with a friend who keeps getting stuck in the friend zone. And subscribe if you want more breakdowns of female psychology, attraction dynamics, and emotional intelligence. Remember, you don't escape the friend zone by being louder. You escape it by being deeper. And depth requires courage. That's the difference.